나중에 먹고 밥부터 먹자.
뭐야? 어? 여기 왜 벤치 금자 나와?
돈까지 알려준대? 와우.
Lead are ranked one on the list of highest paid K-drama actors of 2023. Kim So-yoon from the famous series My Love from the Star has really been violated
왜
here.
벤치 금자 나와?
Well, this ain't about canceling Korean stars. This is just some other woke video you'll come across on the internet. But would you believe a simple potato like me would try to be relevant with today's K-culture trends? Issue. You got it right. So let's go back to the issue at hand. Woefully, there's a violation committed here, and it goes right under one of the interpersonal communication theories. Expectancy violations. From the word itself, whatever is expected or anticipated from one person to conduct oneself is only faced with defiance. Look at how such communication theory is applied when we're just casually consuming K-series for its plot. Observe how people react when social norms or expectations are violated.
아저씨 때문에 지금 내 사인회가 엉망이 되고 있잖아.
그게 왜 때문이야 이
이렇게 머리끄댕이를 잡는데 소리를 안 지를 사람이 있나? 파. 당신도 지르네.
아니 그러면 왜 미친놈이 애한테 해코지라는데 그냥 가만히 보고만 있어?
됐다.
정신과 의사세요? 미친 걸 어떻게 하셨대?
뭐야? 막 말을 막 주절 막 이상하게 하니까.
미친놈.
뭐야?
아니 말을 막 주절주절 하시길래 미친 줄 알았지.
뭐 들었지? 들었죠? 방금 나한테 쌍욕한 거. 뭐해? 빨리 찍어.
According to Judy Borgun, expectancy violations theory predicts and explains the effects of nonverbal behavior violations on interpersonal communication outcomes such as attraction, credibility, persuasion, and smooth interactions. She also adds, violations of expectations are sometimes preferable to confirmations of expectations. Wondering how it can be applied? So I'm going to mention one of the 5 key components of this interpersonal theory, which is clearly expectations, which in this context are shaped by culture.
왜 벤치 금자 나와?
Everyone just generally have that conservative mindset by default that a woman shouldn't be more forward than any other male species. I've only gathered spills that our girlies in South Korea aren't also safe with a general conservative streak of their culture. With a demand to keep family values alive, my fellow sisters practically worked like slaves, totally submissive to men providing what they need. Seems like Ko Moon-young existed to break such environment. Her character is written that way because throughout the series, she is understood and viewed as someone who unfailingly misbehaves, just because a woman isn't expected to bite back. I think the amount of space between the two leads, when there's still something unrequited going on between them at that time, is the issue too. Again, violation to expectations of interaction. But out of everything, Madame Judy got us again with that validation where expectations are really just there. Violations of expectations are sometimes preferable to confirmations of expectations, affected by accounts of a lot of factors that pull out reactions from the witnesses will determine if a violation is desirable or undesirable. Issue! Now let's count it. First one's a matter of personal space. The second one's an idol's trouble. Speaking of idol trouble, I think we got here some double trouble. Never such thing happens, for sure. There will be someone behind the scenes to clean up the mess. For context, Yoon Chae-ryong, Yeonsong Group's director at that time, had a sizzling hot scandal circulating on the news that she was physically assaulting her employee and driver. But there's this woman who knows how to turn public opinion and divert their attention away from adding fuel to the rapidly spreading forest fire by actively bringing up and only further cornering Chae-ryong with her only strength, that is not herself, but the manager for a strategic planning team, Wang Do-hee. A public sentiment has already been built that Chae-ryong should be arrested for her assault charges. Toilet Wang, as she is given a nickname for only receiving dumps to deal with after it is done, pretty much controlled the situation well. Here comes this agenda-setting theory of mass communication by Maxwell McCombs and Donald Zhao, since it determines which topics should receive attention, as well as how the narrative around it should be formed. Which is pretty evident on how Toilet Wang framed the angles of Chae-ryong's breastfeeding moment and was set to press release to garner sympathy. With everything she said, even with just one phone call, she successfully garnered the good side of K netizens. By sharing realistic experiences as a mother, just like going to work as if the pregnancy never had an effect on her, ignoring the postpartum hair loss, and reasoning out postpartum depression due to her heavy workload as a high official. Then, adding how she still dedicates such little time she has to even pump her own breast milk for her babies. It surely stirs up completely new drama for the audiences to latch onto, making the prosecution's investigation, what is really necessary, seem harsh and hindering her motherly and womanly rights. Then, the rest is the birth of rising stories brought by pity and active background checking of the subject, Chae-ryong, exchanging places with the victims. And because of that too, she became a fashion icon and boosted Yeonsong's group's name along with her, but this time in good light. Bernard Cohen, in his book The Press and the Foreign Policy, observes that media may not be successful much of the time in telling people what to think, but it is stunningly successful in telling its readers what to think about. The world will look different to other people. Pretty famous for shaping and prioritizing certain issues that can impact elections, campaigns, and whatsoever, this one is totally gaining traction. It's true that social media platforms do really fall under the most influential agenda-setting tools for this. Issue. So, what have we learned? I told you, this is not your typical gossip video. I made you familiar with both interpersonal and mass communication theories, which is really astonishing to reference from the series I've watched just for my pastime and fun. I'll throw you more clips then.
사랑해. 사랑해 강태 씨. 사랑한다고. 사랑한다니까.
일어나. 쏘리. 난 미안하다고 했는데.
난 별로 안 미안했어.
But would you choose to still believe a simple potato like me some other time? Trying to be relevant with today's gay culture trends? Like, comment, or subscribe. See you!